See, I really didn't want to do this. This image was exactly the same image that were on the monkeys in The Wizard of Oz. It also can look like your Christmas tree. The next thing is I cut it out of this. Now we can take this, and if I can do this properly, okay, if we do this properly, it becomes, come on, baby, it becomes the crown. You see the way it becomes the crown? Uh, I'm not a very good artist, eh? See the way it becomes a crown? But really and truthfully, if you put it back together, it's a W. Everybody's asking, why number 23? Because this is what it creates. Here to here to here, 1 day. To here, 2 days. 48 hours. 72 hours is supposed to connect the week. 72 times 5 degrees makes a 360-degree motion. So you've turned around and you've moved forward in time with this, the spiraling motion. Otherwise, everybody thinks Earth just goes like this around the sun, like a circle. But it's not possible for it to go like that. It's got to come out of here. It's got to come out of here. This, at the same time, like I said, was on The Wizard of Oz, creates this. It creates the crown. It creates the cufflink on the card of one of the kings. He has a cufflink on one side, but he doesn't have it on the other side. Now, I'm not finished exactly with this. I'm still trying to calculate. WWW is you go down and you go up 1 day. You go down, you go up is 2 days. So every time you have a V, down and up, you would actually have a day. But it's not true because you have to go completely around. So it's actually down to the bottom and up 1 day. I'm going to just do it the simple way. The second V, which makes a second W, is 2 days. Okay? The second W completed is 4 days. The next W is 6 days. 1 day, we don't move, it doesn't count, it repeats in space. And then we go again, WWW. And if you really want to look at it, it's WWW 6 days. Then the V, which is 1 day, makes 7 days. And then V, we do it, excuse me, WWWV, WWWV, WWWV. That makes basically our weeks and our month. But there's more than that. I'm just doing it real quick. You know what's really funny? That Saturn and Uranus, the only difference that what Uranus doesn't have of Saturn is the T. But of Uranus, Saturn has all the letters because Saturn has the U, Saturn has the R, Saturn has the A, Saturn has the N, Saturn has the repetitive U, and it has the X. So right inside Saturn is Uranus. But the T is not in Uranus, and the U is duplicating, putting it the T and U, the 20th and 21st letter, and they're on the number 8 key in letters on your telephone, equaling to 41, go, FEMA, Pharmaceuticals, Mediterranean. That's what it stands for. There are 3 or 4 planets with suns. Venus, S-U-N, Uranus, S-U-N, and the other one is Venus, Uranus, and Saturn. Why? Because Saturn, S, and it finishes with an N, and there's a U in between, says Sun. The other one's Venus, okay, has Sun backwards from 3 letters. The other word, Uranus, is backwards from 3 letters. But Saturn has Sun by starting with S, having the U in between the word, finishing with N. What's funny about the moons of Saturn and Jupiter is that there's 123 moons, 60 and 63. Why? You're going to look online right now. You will not see this number anymore. Don't forget what you see, what I see, what turns, what changes. We cannot follow. Okay, imagine you change your mind tomorrow, but what did you think today? So there's going to be more moons, and in 100 years, there's going to be more moons. I'm not going to explain to you the situation why. It just is that way. So, and we're now 60 moons and 63 moons. 123 ABC, 41 times 3, 123 ABC. Saturn, moons plus the Saturn equals 93, Herbert Hoover. Jupiter equals 99 plus 63 moons is 162. Jupiter, the letter J for the planet, is 10. Add that on to 162 makes 172. Saturn, which is a total count of 152 with the moons 60, 153 with the moon 60, and the Saturn in the Gematria is 93. It totals 153 plus the vowel count of S for Saturn, which is a total of 172 each. 172, 172 each, totaling to 344. 3 by 44 is 132. Again, it repeats. You understand where I'm coming from? And then the other thing with the two planets, because of the two names and the T and the U that is extra, in the two planets' names, we have the word Taurus. So for those of you who are not sure of certain things, you can go there for Taurus. There's so many other things. Why is 135 different from 2468? Because of the center dot that doesn't exist in the other numbers. Doesn't exist in 4, doesn't exist in 6. 4, 6, and 2 is 12. 1 and 2 is 3. 1, 3, and 5 is 9. So you have 9 and 3. 3 by 9 is 27 positions on Rubik's Cube. I can just go on, but I'm more interested now for people to ask me questions and certain things. And there's more. There's definitely a lot more. Diesel, dye, and cell. The dye is a creation of a formation. When you dye something a color, or when you dye it to duplicate it, to make a dye to create it. There's other things on roulette, and everybody has to understand that Uncle Abe or Abe Lincoln are the numbers 152, 51 and 2, memory. 1776 plus, no, not plus, 1776 over 6771. 6 and 1 equals 7. 7 over 7 is 14. 14 equals 1 plus 4, 5. And then the same thing equals 75, 75. George, 75, 75. The Hebrew leap year in the next year, 75, 75. The number of moons that happen those leap years, 75,075. 75 equals 3 quarters. 75 into the 10, 10. 7 equals 3. 5 equals 5. The 35. Kickoff. 7 by 5. 7 plus 5 equals 47. Time of Christ. It's impossible. I make the definitions up. I made the definitions, and I really haven't changed them in a couple of years. I've just put them more into a formation. Now, where would I be wrong in all this? Is when you say it's wrong. When you say it's wrong, it's wrong. When you think you want to sort of show me something your way, I'll accept it. I'll accept your definition. Can't change the numbers. 1 and 1 is 2, at least for most of us. But it's not always 2. Because when you have 2 goaltenders on the ice, it's 1 and 1 for each team. Am I more or less correct? Or more or less? Anyways, par for the course. You know when something is course. Anyways, okay. Raphael, 7286. Another thing I was doing, The other thing I wanted to tell you is that when you add up three numbers in a row, or one number at a time, or six numbers, you can do, there's 18 red at one at a shot is 18. There's 18 red at three of the shot, that's six. There's 18 reds at six at a shot, that's three. You can also use the two. You cannot use the four. You cannot use the five. The fox, 45, add 1 to 9 is 45, it's reserved. 18 divides by 1, 3, 6, and 2, 2, 1, 3, 6, and 2, not 4 or 5. 5 and 4, that's Rubik's Cube. That has to do with a lot of stuff I'm not going to bring in right now. Oh, there's just so much. I have to stop. I have to stop. Just things are just kooky, crazy, fantastic. Um, I don't see anything sad except I wish I lived closer to my grandmother. And then again, you know what? I have my car. I can go visit her, but I don't go often enough. It's very sad. She fed me. She took care of us. She gave us food. You need a place to stay. It was an old house. It was like Archie Bunker's house. Being next to your grandfather when you're 15, 14, 13 and everything, up to 20 years old before you passed. It's just fantastic memories I have. It's unbelievable what I see, how, what do you call this? I couldn't even say it. When you're 7 years old and you're telling Zadie, Zadie, hide me, hide me. And you don't want to go home back to the city. The other thing I want to say is in Hebrew or Jewish, I always call my grandmother Bubby. And what I learned just in the last day or so is Bubby or Bob or bobbing for apples or Billy, bring me home on a billy goat, bring me home on my grandmother. Because Bob, because every time I say, well, everybody says to me, why do you call your grandmother Bob? I go, no, it's Bub. Like Bub, a light bulb, someone to light up your life. Something really mysterious about everything that I'm doing. I've learned to tell jokes, I've learned to color, and I've learned to just, you know what, acting is sort of like just being you. And I'm loving it. Raphael 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus. Sometimes people just say, the constellation of Pegasus, 7286. Thank you.